Hello! My name is Dawn, and I have decided to try and put some information out on the YouTube. I love to spin, and I started spinning probably about 5 years ago, and when I first started spinning, there was not a lot of information out there to help you, like, just from scratch get started. I had a very difficult time getting the fiber onto the bobbin, and it was super frustrating, and so I'm just gonna put out a few tips that helped me when I was getting started, and hopefully someone will find it useful. I've learned a lot off of YouTube, so I thought it would be nice to give back a little, and maybe if you had questions I could answer them. But yeah, that's my plan. And first I thought I'd show you a little bit of the yarn that I have spun. This is sort of a thicker yarn that I made, and it is quite squishy. I made it from a bat. It has a little bit of sparkle. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I never know what I'm going to do with the yarn until I do. So here's something that I've spun. It's a little bit more of a tight spin. Both of these are 2-ply. And they're all wool. I mostly spin just with 100% wool. And because wool is awesome, right? And this is, I think, a 3-ply that I did with chain plying. So, and these are just a few. I have spun quite a bit over the, past few years. And so hopefully today I can just give you some information that might help you out. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to put a leader on your bobbin. What you need, this is just some crochet cotton that I have. I take off probably about 4 feet because I'm gonna, or thereabouts, I'm gonna fold it in half. So you line up the 2 cut ends. You have 1 folded end. I take my bobbin and I put the string under the bobbin, and I put the cut end through the folded end, pull, and now I do that on the other side. So I just had the folded end on this side, on the right, and so now I want the folded end to be on the left. So I go back underneath with the folded end, which is basically the string is doubled, put the cut end through, pull, tighten it up. So it's, you can move it, but it's pretty much staying tightly onto the bobbin, which is what you want when you're trying to get the fiber to come up. Okay, now let me go get the fiber. Okay, so here we are at the wheel. This is Corriedale fiber. There's lots of different fibers that are great for beginning spinning. Merino is a little bit slick, so it's not really the best one to start with. Something that's not quite as smooth and soft would be better. This is Corriedale. I might list some other ones below. I get a lot of my fiber on Etsy. There's lots of dyers over there that make beautiful stuff. Basically, I pick my fiber by how it looks. I often pick pink fiber. So, there's not a lot of method to my madness. I'm just trying to spin, to relax and enjoy it. So, we're going to take a little bit of fiber off of this braid. If you pull fiber with your hands too close together, the fiber will not come apart. You need to have a full staple length between your hands so that you can get it to pull out. Okay, I've loosened it up a little bit. I'm going to pull, and then I have a bit of fiber. Okay, so now make sure my tension is basically off. So this is a Schacht Matchless wheel. This is the whirl for this spinning wheel that I have on right now. It has 2 grooves There's a smaller one and a larger one. The larger one will have the wheel spin less fast, which is what you want. When you're in the beginning, I feel like everything should be slow. So I have it on the larger whirl groove. I'm going to pull my leader through the flyer orifice. And I don't know if I've said this, but I tie a knot usually in the end. You can loop your fiber through, which can help keep it on the leader in the beginning when you get started. But then as you right now what I do is I just lay it next to it and it will all spin together. So either way of those, whichever works for you. And so, let's see, I have no tension right now on. What I'm working with is Scotch tension on my Schacht Matchless. I'm going to just wind down a little bit of the leader so you can see that there's no tension. It's just twist is building up, but nothing is being pulled onto the bobbin. So that's where you want it to be to start. And then as you add tension, there should be some sort of knob on your wheel where you expand the spring, which is the Scotch tension, which will allow for the wheel to have more take-up, which is what we're shooting for right now. We want more take-up so we can get the fiber on the bobbin. And I am spinning with a Z twist, and so that means my wheel is going clockwise. I always spin with the wheel moving clockwise as I look at it, and when I ply, the wheel is moving counterclockwise. I mean, that's basically just how I think about it. And mostly I just do 2 plies. So I spin 2 bobbins and I will ply them together. And when I spin each of them, the wheel is going clockwise, and so I have a Z twist. Okay, so though you can see I tightened up the tension here, the Scotch tension on my wheel, and so now the leader is pulling up, but it's pulling up ever so slightly because you don't want it to whip out of your hands, which was also something that happened to me in the beginning. I would have the tension up too high, and I was trying to spin first off with merino, and it would just yank that out of my hands. It was quite frustrating. So I'm just going to pull out a little bit of the fiber. My backhand is back here, just sort of holding it so I can have a grip on both sides, and I'm pulling forward. And then I'm going to I'm going to loop it back on itself so that I can get these fibers to attach, which will help keep it on the leader. So I start spinning slowly, get some twist. Now I can see, because this is sort of a bigger piece of fiber, no twist is really going up on it. So I'm just going to add a little bit more tension and pull it a little bit farther apart. That should get it. There you go. It's still got a lot of twist right here. It's going towards the bobbin. It's not quite on there yet, so I'm going to add a little more tension. And there you go. Now you can see it's on the bobbin. It's still pretty tightly spun, which maybe that's fine for you because you're just wanting to get on the bobbin because you haven't had success with that. You can certainly make yarn with this fiber that is spun this much. When you ply the fiber, a lot of times the twist will go out of it. So if it's just over twisted a little bit, overspun a little bit when you're at the wheel making the single, which is what you call what this fiber is before I apply it. It's a single. If it's overspun, it's fine. A lot of that will come out in the plying. And also, we're just beginning, so it's all good. If you got it on the bobbin, early days for me, that would have been a win. So now I'm just going to add a little more tension. And so I have my hand back here very loosely holding the fiber, very loosely. And really I just hold it loose enough so that when I pull, It gives a little bit of a pinch onto the fiber so that I can grab enough fiber to pull out. And this is a short forward draw. I'm just pulling the fiber out, smoothing it back. Out, back, out, back, out, back. And I sort of, when I'm doing my own spinning, do sort of a combination of forward draw and backward draw. You can play around with whatever works for you. Like I said, this is just supposed to be a positive experience for me. I find it meditative, and so what the draw is called doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to make a consistent single that I can ply into a yarn. So I want the width of my single to be consistent. And when I'm looking at it, I'm trying to have it be about 1 millimeter wide. But you can pick any number, you know, whatever works for you. Just sort of aim for something consistent so that when you spin it, you'll get a consistent yarn. But also in the beginning, my yarn was not consistent. So we're just practicing. We're just getting it on the wheel, and then we're just gonna make some yarn, and we're gonna keep doing it until you know, you're getting the product that you want. It just takes practice. But really, this is the essence of spinning, getting the single onto the bobbin consistently, and you know, makes it very relaxing once you can get it to go on consistently. All right, I'm going to change the angle for a minute so you can see it a little closer. Okay, this is pretty close up. So I have my fiber loosely in my hand. I'm pulling out, smoothing back. Pulling a little bit of fiber out, smoothing back. Out, back. And you can see my spin is so low that even when I let go, it's not going all up into the fiber, which is a good thing. Because if you get the spin going all the way down in the fiber, it will be impossible to pull out. You have to have the spin at the start of the fiber so that the fiber is still fluffy and you can pull it out. So I untwisted just a smidge, pull. But that's how little twist I'm putting on. Just for now, when we're practicing in the beginning. Okay, since it's all close up here, I'm going to show you how to do a join. So I have twist up to my finger and then a fluffy bit here at the end. And I'm going to pull out a fluffy bit back here. And one join you can do is you're going to catch, let me see if you can see it. You're going to catch these fibers onto this twist. So you're going to start spinning and the fibers just want to go on. And then you pull it back. That was probably out a little bit far because you really want the fibers to catch on just where the difference between the twist and the fluffy bit is. So pull it back a little bit so there's less twist right there. I let the fibers catch on, I pull it back. I don't know if I did that in the camera. One more time. Fluffy twist, I have pull out just a few fibers. In the beginning, it just makes it easier. I basically touch these fibers just before the fluffy bit, start spinning, move the fibers back, and then pull. I think that is the technical way you're supposed to do a join. Here's often what I do. Pull out a few fibers, lay them all together flat so they're commingling, pull back a little bit so the twist can come down to where I'm at, start spinning. If you're worried that that might pull apart, don't pull out anymore, add a little extra twist, keep going. Okay, so that's what I do. I pull out just a few fibers, a good amount actually. I lay them together. So you've basically mixed this fiber with the fiber bat that you have in your hand, or the fiber bump. And then I pull a little bit to get them together, let some spin come down. And so now they've sort of twisted up together. I just pull out. Add a little extra spin if I want. Start pulling some more. And that works pretty well for me. But you can do either. The one where you attach the fibers, I mean, the advantage is that you don't have to pull any out. You just find some of the fibers at the end. You put them close to where the fluffy bit is. They start spinning, you pull it back. There you go. I think that is the technical proper join. But also, you know, don't tell the spinning police. I do what I want, and so I don't mean to misinform people, but that is a disclaimer. So, out, smooth. Okay, and there you go. There you go. It's sort of a close-up shot of spinning and how I got the bobbin on. I might do it again without me talking, and so you can just watch it again. And yeah, so there, now it's just practice, 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 and you'll fill a little bit on this bobbin. You don't have to fill it up all the way. You can fill up as much as you want in another bobbin, and then you would be able to ply. And maybe I'll make a video about how to do that as well. But there you go. Holding the fiber loosely. My backhand, very loose.